Welcome back to the Homeschooling Simplified channel, and I've got Bethany with me this evening. Bethany, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so I'm Bethany, and I currently work at Lauyans Company, and it's a manufacturing company in Louisville, Kentucky. And I am their controller, which is another section of being an accountant. It's just a higher level up. So I do all the bookkeeping and financials and receivables and payables.
Awesome. And does your job require high school, community college, technical college, or a 4-year or more degree?
So you could probably there are like different certificates you can get. So like you probably just get like an associate's or like a community college certificate. But it's better to have like a 4-year degree because then you can advance from that into like other certificates which require a 4-year degree.
And if someone's interested in being an accountant, what classes should they take to prepare?
I would see sometimes schools have a accounting class already in their program. So that's the only thing that I can recommend because that's what I took in high school, but I went to public school. So
all math classes, they should,
yeah.
and study well.
Yeah, which I mean, accounting, the thing about accounting is people think it's all math, which it is. You need to know how to do basic math. But a computer does a lot of it for you. You need to have really good computer skills as well.
Yeah, okay, so computer classes.
Yeah.
And what were your favorite classes that you took?
So my favorite class in college that I took would probably be the financial accounting classes, which is all the basic level stuff. So you learn all about the details in the like they call them T accounts or just every account that you would have in a financial statement, which includes your income and balance sheet. So it's all those details.
Does your job change often? If so, do you have to update your knowledge and skills along the way?
So accounting is a very broad spectrum. So you could go a lot of different career paths with accounting. So most people think of tax as an accounting, and with tax you have to update every year because the tax laws change. For my specific job doing financial accounting, there's some requirements that change. I mean, accounting is a career that continuously changes and updates as you go along. So continuous education is very important.
Is continuing education required?
No, because you could just do there's a lot of free stuff you can do and you just do your own research. There's different articles to join that provide information of any updates that are coming, but it doesn't change that regularly, but it's very good to keep up on the trends in accounting.
And how many days a week do you work and about how many hours?
So I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. Now, if you were a tax accountant, there's certain seasons in tax. So you were busy, January through April, to where I'm busy all year round. I have about a week every month that I'm not too busy, and that's just the type of work that I do. It's just the field that I'm in. So it can vary. It just depends on what you like the best. So you can have consistent work, or you could have really busy work.
And are you paid hourly, by salary, or commission?
I am paid, so I started out as hourly, and now I'm paid salary.
So there's growth.
Yes.
And so about how long do you think that growth takes for someone to achieve?
I'd say 4 to 5 years, or no more than 3 to 5. Yeah, so in accounting, there's these other certificates that you can get along with your degrees. So there's 2 different career paths in accounting. So you have a CPA, which is like all your taxes, and so CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant. And then there's a CMA, which I am trying to get, which is a Certified Management Accountant, which handles all the financials and budgeting and strategic planning aspects. So there's 2 broad categories in accounting.
Do you have to work overtime? And if so, are you paid for that overtime?
Since I am salary, no.
Do you have to work a lot of overtime?
Typically, no. No. Now, there's other career fields that you probably do, like, or like other accounting positions you may have to, but I typically don't have to work any overtime.
Here's a little bit of a different question. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies include spending time with family and friends, and I like reading.
I love reading. That's one of my top ones too. Why did you choose this career?
Oh, this is a story. So
Good.
in high school, in my junior year, I was talking to my Algebra 2 teacher, and he was an okay teacher, but he kind of let us do whatever we wanted. So one day we were talking, and I was like, well, I'm done with my work, so now what? He said, he asked me what I was going to be since, I'm approaching senior year, and, then you ask, well, what college are you going to go to? What are you going to be? I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be a teacher. And he's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, you should go be an accountant. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that? So I never heard of that up until that point. And he's like, they deal with numbers and you like math. And he's like, I think it would be perfect. Plus, like, everyone always needs an accountant. Like, it's a field that will not expire. So that's how I got into accounting.
So your math teacher encouraged you and kind of mentioned something, and then it just took off from there.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does your job seem exciting to you? And did you see yourself doing this when you were a child?
Okay, well, I definitely did not see myself doing this as a child, but now that I'm in it, I would not do anything else. I think it is exciting. Sometimes, you get into the routine of things, and so it's very, like, mundane, but there's always, like, new things you can learn, and it depends on where you work and who you work with, and if they let you experiment with things, or if you can grow and learn other stuff, then that's what makes it exciting for me.
And what did you want to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to be a teacher.
And so when he mentioned you should try to be an accountant, was that the only moment that kind of swayed you, or you just did research and decided, hey, I do like that?
He let me go talk to the student council because there was an accounting class in my high school that you could take. And so my senior year, I took that, and I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. This is what I'm doing.
That's awesome. What's the most satisfying thing to you about your career?
I think the most satisfying is, for me as a person, is like helping other people. So with accounting, you either work with another department or you're the ending part of the company. So then you get the last part of the work to be done for like a certain job or processing something. So you get to like see stuff finish up, and then like you can make recommendations or investigating. For me, investigating numbers and figuring out what's going on is probably my favorite part and most satisfying when I provide an answer to my boss.
That's very cool. And you kind of touched this question earlier, but are there a lot of openings in your career field? And if not, so now, will there be in the future?
Yes. So when I first started, there was like a lot of, like, it's also it's like I've said, it's a career field that's not very talked about very often. And so there is a lot of potential, and right now the boomer generation is retiring. So there's going to be a lot more opportunities in the future.
And I just thought of something as a question. Do you think as technology progresses, do you think there'll still be a need for accounting, and the fact that you said you have to have good computer skills and the computer does most of those, but do you think the computer will eventually take over the need to have someone doing that work, doing the numbers?
Yeah, so this has been talked about a lot because artificial intelligence is coming out.
Yes.
Like, it's very popular in the accounting world. But you still have to have someone there to run that and make sure it still doesn't make any mistakes. And the other thing is technology can always fail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as humans, we make errors, but technology is not promised. I mean, it will fail, it will shut off, just happens. So then you have to have someone else there to know what's going on. So I think technology will play a big part, and like knowing technology will be a very important, crucial part. But you'll still need an accountant. You'll still need a physical person there.
Mm-hmm. And what are some pros and cons?
The pro in accounting is that there's a lot of growth and it makes good money. So it's a really good paying job if that's what someone is going after. There's also some flexibility, like in my schedule, I have some flexibility in what I want to do and stuff like that. And there's like I said, there's a lot of potential to move up in different positions. And even getting out of the accounting, you can move up in different management positions as well. Just having the basic business knowledge is very important. Some cons, like I've said, it can kind of get a little boring every now and then. You do the same thing every day sometimes. But it can get also very stressful at times. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, as bad times come, those are very stressful times. So you see the business in waves, and you are a strong point in that aspect, because you see all the ups and the downs, and people will value that about you because they look to you.
For the last question is, do you have any encouragement for those that are seeking an accountant position, or that might have just heard about it for the first time and wants more interest and doesn't really know where to go to look for that knowledge?
Okay, so to look for more knowledge, definitely check out the CMA and the CPA. They have lots of information about those two certificates in the accounting, in the accounting field. So I would also say, don't think it's just all numbers. Like, it's not all math. It is a lot of numbers. It's more numbers than math. So you don't have to do as many calculations as you think there is. You just have to enter numbers, understand numbers, know how they work. There's no alphabet involved. So there's no algebra, any hard thinking. It's also very organized and detailed. So if those are things you like, then I recommend it. Yeah, find somebody who is in that field. If you can go job shadow somebody. Like, I wish I could have known somebody or known about different internships. So just do your research, look stuff up. Don't be afraid to ask somebody questions.
Thank you, Bethany, so much for taking some time out this evening and answering some questions for us. If anybody else has questions we didn't cover with Bethany that you're curious about, just comment or post them or let me know, and I'll get those questions to Bethany and we'll get those answered for you. Thanks so much, Bethany.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.